shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon. Hey guys, this is a sad story out of Los Angeles, California. This right here is Andrea Vasquez. Andrea Vasquez is a beautiful 19-year-old girl that was abducted in broad daylight. This is a wild and bizarre story of how she was ambushed at a park, guns blazing. shooting up the vehicle that they were at, and then kidnapping her and taking her to another location. As you see, the gunman suddenly opened fire on the couple before pulling the 19-year-old Andrea out of the vehicle. Andrea's boyfriend escaped the gunfire, but returned to the vehicle to find that she had indeed been kidnapped. There was a blood trail, folks. Gabriel Sean Esparza, 20 years old, is accused of this heinous crime against Andrea Vasquez. And I think the most wild part of this ordeal is this monster was the son of LA County Fire Captain. What is going on in this young man's life? Breaking news on BRYAN KOHBERGER and the Idaho 4. In accordance to the most recent court hearing, BRYAN is waiving his right to a speedy trial. Many of you guys know he was just fighting with the courts over the indictment and how the jury was selected. He challenged that. He also asked for a second stay in the hearing. They were unsuccessful at court, and the judge was forcing this trial to go on October.
We're waiting really forever in this case. So if we were to push this out, this case, and then something else happens that allows us or requires us to push it out a little farther, you can't claim your right to a speedy trial at that point. Sure you want to do this?
Absolutely.
The Gonzalez family made several posts on their family Facebook page. And in the Facebook post on Wednesday, the Gonzalez asked for prayers for their family. I, Bullhorn Betty, did leave a prayer for healing and protection. They also stated, we are afraid he is going to waive his right to a speedy trial, and therefore the trial will not start in October, and it could be years before he's brought to justice. And that terrifies the Gonzalez family. So please let me know what your thoughts are on this trial. Now that he's waived his right to a speedy trial, it might be years before he is brought to justice. What are your thoughts about this? And do you think he's the guy? And does he have an alibi? So we have a major update on the Rachel Morin case. Many know that there is a crazed lunatic running the streets of America. He was over in Los Angeles and now in Maryland. The DNA was linked from one case to another. However, the case in Maryland, a woman died. This is 37-year-old Rachel Morin, mother of 5, that was brutally attacked on the Maupassant Heritage Trail. Now, I am unsure if this man here is connected at all to Rachel Morin's case or the case from Los Angeles. However, this man here was described as attacking a woman in Orange County on a hiking trail. He is described as a Hispanic male around 30 to 40. And the one that we are being described from Rachel Morin's case, this man here, appears to be, and we were told by law enforcement, between 20 and 30 years old. But we have to remember, these are only assumptions from law enforcement because they don't know who they're looking for. Could this man here also be this man here? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Either way, this man is also being looked for an attack on a trail. So is it the same person? I don't know. Let's look for both. Let's never forget exactly why we do this. It's to bring answers and awareness to these types of cases for victims just like Rachel Morin.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, my beautiful people of YouTube. I got a couple new pairs of glasses. The readers aren't quite in yet, so I'll have to digress to my prior reading glasses. But there they are. I am going blind, folks. I am officially going blind. I am aging. This sucks. I have to be honest with you. It sucks. So we did a little bit different intro coming in a little bit longer because I'm just recapping all the work I did yesterday and this morning, and then, you know, all the research that's going to go into our case for today, cases. So we're going to be diving right in here. We're going to get a little bit back to the swing of things. We've got our handy dandy language of letting go that gets us through each and every day, because we as human beings struggle. Like, we don't like lifing it, right? Life kind of sucks. We all just want to wake up, have a big pile of money in our bank accounts, and be able just to do whatever we want each and every day. But we've got to get up, we've got to go to work, we've got to pay the bills, right? So what helps us with that? Well, here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, we like to give ourselves, our heart, and our day over to God. And we find that a lot of people are codependent. And I, myself, codependent person. And so I have been reading this book for 15 years, over 15 years. And every single time, it's the same stuff, day after day, same exact print on. I can tell you that last year, on August 25th, we were reading the same message today, August 25th. But what is so amazing about this book is you get something new out of it each year. It's like rereading it all over again for the first time. So, good morning, Sonia. It's nice to see you. NC Girl Freedom, Sheila, Gigi for Life, The Real Me Too. Mac J, it's nice to have you here this morning. BJ Strong, nice to see you. Grammy Wolf, Southern Grammy Wolf. It's a tongue tire this morning. Tongue tie, right? Bullhorn Betty is present with a big smile on her face, ready to rock today out. I hope everybody is really having an enjoyable Friday, TGIF. Lots of stuff going on. If you guys noticed, we dropped a lot of stuff this month, kind of just, I think a week ago, just to kind of remember Gabby. Some of this stuff was, you know, stuff that I posted like 2 years ago. This was around the time that Gabby stops communicating with her parents. As we know, September 1st, right around the corner, is when Bryan Laundrie made it back to Northport. By September 17th and 18th, the powers that be were on their front lawn. And since then, a lot of the stuff that we had uncovered, a lot of the stuff that we had saw with our own eyes, just hearing in the community, ended up turning out to be accurate, true, and correct. And so we were reporting that. And the good news is even though Bryan Laundrie is no longer with us and cannot be brought to justice, we know that his parents had a hand in a lot of stuff when it came to Gabby Petito meeting her demise and what ensued thereafter. They were culpable, and honestly, they were criminally culpable. I think that the FBI and law enforcement couldn't bring themselves to arrest them as well, seeing how they lost their son as well, and he was the one that actually did it. But the pain and suffering that Laundrie's parents did to the Petitos was disgusting. That is why we were there. The fact that they slammed the door in their face, they hung up the phone on them. They knew what happened to Gabby Petito, and they didn't give a damn about her parents. Meanwhile, she was living under their roof before they went on this cross-country excursion. So, I'm sorry, but call me a little crazy. There's very few, now I'm not going to say there's none, because that would be inaccurate, but there's very few boys that beat up on their girls when they are their girlfriends when they live in a house that denounces and absolutely has no excuse for a man putting a hand on a woman. You don't have boys growing up like that. Even if they did that, maybe did that, they were shamed so bad by their family, they never did it again. We all do things stupid. We learn from that. We grow and never do it again. That wasn't the case in this household. I knew that. I knew that abuse was progressive. I knew that they knew he abused her and said nothing, and did not hold him accountable for his actions, and never have. We all identified very early on in the Gabby Petito case that Roberta Laundrie was most likely the culpable person in that. So this week you're going to see more content, it's going to be throwback content. This is stuff that I'm not re-altering. How it's being put out is how it was put out originally. People are like, oh, this is so disrespectful. Well, they weren't saying it when it was originally put out 2 years ago, but that was everybody lied about Bullhorn Betty and I'm the worst person on YouTube person, right? We do good work. Bottom line, we're usually the only YouTubers out there helping families with boots on the ground. Now, granted, I'm not criticizing everybody that's commentators on here on YouTube that can't put boots on the ground. That's not what I'm saying. They have their own channels and do their own things. Mine puts me on the ground to actually physically help people. You should not be hurting and denouncing people that are literally going out there to provide actual assistance to these families. Now, granted, we're controversial, right? We're controversial. We have no problem if we see an injustice starting a protest right then and there. We take our press badges off, put our personal hats on, and we see an injustice, and we act on that. That's another thing. Now, which family out there that has a missing loved one that wouldn't like that? I'm sorry. I do what I do for other people as if they were my own family. If I'm doing something, then it's because I would do it for my own family. And I am doing that for them. There are horrible people out there, horrible parents, horrible grandparents, animals. There are just people that should not walk among us, that are among us, that want to injure us. You, the haters' families. We live in a crazy world, and we need everybody to pull the resources together and get these stories out, and that's what we are going to do. The language of letting go today for August 25th, show your gratitude. Show your gratitude. Why wait? Show your gratitude today. If someone has been kind, thank him or her today. Yes, we can wait and buy that person dinner next week. But how about writing an email this afternoon or leaving a message on a telephone answering machine telling how much you appreciate the kind words or deeds? We cannot show gratitude without sharing it with someone. When we show our gratitude, it's a way of sharing our joy with that person. Even when we do something as simple as burning a candle to show gratitude to God, and shares our joy with everyone who sees the flame of the candle. It strengthens their faith and reminds them how to show gratitude too. Make showing and sharing your gratitude as part of your life. If someone does something nice for you, share your happiness with that person. Send a card or make a phone call. If you believe that prayer has been answered by God, share your gratitude with God. Tell someone or thank God publicly at your worship service. If you had a victory in your recovery, show your gratitude by sharing it with others in your group. Then share your gratitude with them, for they help and they've given help to others. Demonstrate gratitude in your actions every day. Gratitude is more than just a thought process, more than just a Sunday morning church activity. Demonstrate your gratitude through compassion and your tolerance. Gratitude strengthens our support and supports our relationship with God and with other people. Make a commitment to show gratitude by sharing it with others whenever you have the opportunity. We cannot show our gratitude for life in even our smallest actions. Find a way to demonstrate our gratitude to the universe. Feed the birds. Action gives life to life ideas. When we start to look for ways to show our gratitude, we will find more and more things to be grateful for. Gratitude is a form of self-expression and must be shared. We cannot have an attitude of gratitude without having an object of that gratitude. Why wait? Show your gratitude today by sharing how grateful you are. God, today I will show you how grateful I am. I am truly grateful because I'm of recovery. I am of service. There was once in my life that I was a taker. Didn't care who I hurt. Didn't care what I did. Didn't care if I hurt myself. Didn't care if I lived or died. That was my life. I was unhappy. I was without purpose. I had no gratitude. Today, I live of service. I give back to my community. I give back as far as the eye and the arm and the pocketbook can reach. And I will continue to do so. And I am grateful that I have an opportunity to do that, to be that very person. That gives me, in my life, purpose. So I hope you guys get your purpose as well. So again, nice to see you, Gail. The Real Me Too, Jody, it's nice to have you here. Nana of 12, it's nice to see you. Every time I see you pop in here, I wonder if you're still, especially now that school started, if you have any hair left. 12, my word, my word. Ashley, it's nice to see you. I think I'm going to butcher your name, and I am so sorry. I'm apologizing in advance. Daishri. So I'm so sorry, but this is who. Good morning to you. It's nice to see you. Joy, JP, 8th or 9th time. Nice to see you. Angela, JJ, I see you guys all here, so it's nice to see you. I'm going to pop on down. Oh, Lady O, Joy, Net L, I see you in here. Judy, DB, nice to see you. Karen Davis, it's nice to have you here. I don't think I ever pick you out and just say good morning. So good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see you. So everybody else, it's nice to have you this morning. I see Turkey Man in the house as well. So anyways, we have a lot to go on, a lot to go over this morning. And the first thing I'm going to start with is a very, very disturbing case out of Manhattan, New York. So, you know, we've been following the Rex Heuermann case, the LISK, and we're going to be talking about the Long Island serial killer, which is kind of, you know, focused us kind of in certain areas, you know. And we're going to be talking about something else that went on in Idaho. You know how we have these cases, so we're constantly searching, and then some story, some crazy, wild story pops up in some of your searches because you're looking at Manhattan and you're looking at Idaho and stuff like that. It just happens. And lo and behold, a couple of different things had happened. Folks, we have got to be careful who we trust with our children, even the people that we think we can trust. And so here, the YouTube trolls are something else, still reaching out to them. Oh no, it is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. So everybody knows that I am, you know, just trying to assist. That's all I'm doing. I'm not getting involved. I went out there, I searched, I found information, I gave that to the mother. I provided her flyers, you know, and I provided her that information under confidentiality, and I'm keeping it confidential. And so people out there saw me helping her, and they went in it. They tried to tried to make me look bad. And this has happened before. This is not the first time. We know who's doing all of this. And so anyways, this person reached out, argued with this mother, like, look, she's been begging for help for over a month. Not one YouTuber, not one social media person Not one news organization, outside of their local news organization, putting one little, here and there about Layla up. She was begging for help. Somebody reached out to me with the story. I didn't even find the story. Like, the story was non-existent, okay? I literally had no idea that this was going on in Kingsport. One of our followers on this channel, one of the followers that has been following this channel since Summer Wells, reached out to me and said, hey, look, I didn't think this would ever happen, but my friend's daughter is missing. And she's been begging for everybody to help, and nobody's picking up her case. So, she gave me a couple, I have to verify that this is not a troll, so we go through this whole, but at the very beginning, she had already given me a whole lot of information, even some resources to show me, where to go look. And true enough, this truly was a case. She gave me the mother's number, and of course, naturally, because we're always under attack, I thought that this was kind of somebody trying to troll me, trying to figure out what we do, whatever. So I thought it was a troll. So I went on the TikTok to listen to her voice to see, because I knew that truly was attached to the real Jennifer Santanello. So I went over to the TikTok and I listened to the voice, and I call the number that I'm supposed to get, and I get a voicemail, or I can't even remember. Maybe Jen did pick up the phone, and I'm just like, hi, I'm Andra. I'm better known as, Bullhorn Betty, and your friend reached out to me, just want to tell me about your case. And the mom is literally scared half out of her mind. She has nobody helping her. She just needs to get her daughter's name out there. So I just said, I didn't really want, it was a long trip to Tennessee. On all fairness, I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to help in the search. I wasn't going to assist. I was going to purchase the flyers and leave it at that. But there was something about this case that when I came out here and nobody was really picking it up, I figured that this case needs attention. And honestly, I didn't care if we got hated on to get the attention that it needed, or that, it would be successful when we went out there. I just wanted to get eyes on the case. And we did. Now, since then, because I went out there, and because the mother was grateful that somebody actually gave a damn, these people wanted to attack her, acting like we worked together. I didn't coordinate this. Jen lost her daughter long before I picked up this case. The reason why it's on my channel is because we've got lazy people out there that refuse to run this case. I would not have had to go out to Tennessee if some of the YouTube and content creators would have just helped this woman. Right? If they would have just helped her. Ran the case on their freaking channel. I can name literally 5 creators right now that live in Tennessee that didn't do a damn thing to help this family. Not one. And the one person that did, not only do they attack me, but they attack the family. And there are people literally doing that still to this day. And the lady's just wanting to know where her fucking daughter is. That's it. That's all she wants. She wants her freaking daughter back in her damn arms. That's it. And you guys are attacking her. She gave me the wrong flippin' GoFundMe thing. People are beating her up over that because she's frantic looking for her daughter, and she's trying to get me this stuff over, and she gave me the wrong freaking link. And these people are attacking this mother, and people are standing by and just, no, you don't do that. You don't do that to any freaking parent. She's still, just this morning, 5 minutes ago, saying, I can't believe they're attacking, like, she's at her wits freaking end, and she just wants to know where her daughter is, and instead of these animals helping, remember, I was the worst person on YouTube because I don't help families, they do. They're the ones, these uneducated people that can't graduate high school for some reason are the ones that are going to be able to help this family until they can't, right? Until they just won't, right? They are the ones that know how to do this thing, right? So when they don't get their way, they attack a family and their audience is just okay with that and you think it's me that's the problem? This woman still needs help. And nobody gives a damn. What they're so worried about is, oh my God, Betty. It ain't fucking about me. It never has been. This idea that we're here to make money, I don't have that much money. I'm not living in a lap of luxury, folks. I live in a small house. My freaking car is falling apart, for the love of God. I don't bring that to my audience attention, but it doesn't really matter. But these lies have got to stop here on YouTube. When did it become okay to attack a victim's family? When did it be okay to attack somebody that's literally out there helping? I can guarantee you nobody crawled in the places I went. Nobody. Not even law enforcement. And I'm going to be damned if I'm going to sit around here and listen to these lies continue to be peddled. This woman needs help. She doesn't need a bunch of people bitching about who's helping her. She needs help. If you don't want me helping her, get off your lazy freaking butts and start helping. It's pretty simple. But she damn sure isn't going to criticize the only person that came out to help her when all you have done is sit on your butt and complain about the people providing her resources and help. Sorry, not sorry. So all these people that say I raged before, oh no. Oh no. I have no problem raging here on YouTube for a cause. Layla Santanello is worth it. And shame on anybody that fails to help this family or criticizes the people that do. Shame on you. Shame on your audience. Shame on your members. Shame on the people that support your garbage. Shame on you. Shame on you. If that's what you support and you're on this channel, you are not welcome. You're not welcome. I don't need a click and a view. If I want to go out and get views, baby, you do not realize I can. With all the adversity here on this platform, we were still able to put her in front of 5 million people. There is not one person that is bitching about me being out there that could ever provide those types of results. Period. And everybody so hates me. No, your small little group here. That's it. That's it. There is such a big world out there. And that big world respects the work we do. So now, I'll get on with my regular show. As you can see, I get a little passionate when it comes to stupidity. I don't put up with it. I don't like it. I like to be around successful people that do the right thing. If that's not the boat you're on, don't be in my boat. Because I don't need somebody behind my back drilling holes. Because we are on a mission to do good and to give back. And we will continue to do that. And I can promise you, the money in my paycheck that I receive from YouTube does a whole lot for a lot of people.
We are hearing from a mother in Queens who allowed her 5-year-old girl to walk off with a 75-year-old man. And as much as we think we know, this story is not actually so cut and dry. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon, live tonight in Lower Manhattan, where that man will face a judge.
This story I'm telling you guys gives you goosebumps. This is the story that will give you goosebumps, guys, because this was a friend of the family, a grandfather, a trusted person. We have to be careful from everyone. It's becoming that kind of world, and we cannot allow our children to be gobbled up in all of this gross and nastiness. There is something being cultivated in our country right now that makes people think this kind of conduct is okay. Let me repeat that. There is some type of environment being cultivated in the United States of America that makes people think that this kind of conduct is okay.
Judge. Sonia?
Yes, Sandra, we spoke with the mother of that little girl tonight who told us she thought Franz Vila was someone she could trust and that he was more than just a casual acquaintance. Tonight, Vila is due before a judge accused of violating that trust in an unthinkable way, committing crimes here in Manhattan while a desperate search was going on in Queens. Saying,
that is the man. Looks pretty stinking harmless. Looks like the guy next door. Looks like a friend of the family in almost every single family across America. He's a grandfather. He's a man that has no interaction with law enforcement, no record, and the child liked him. Went off willingly, held his hand. Let's keep watching.
this is a police stunt. To reporters shouting questions, Franz Vila was taken from the Jackson Heights police station where he'd spent the last 24 hours to Manhattan Criminal Court, charged with kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and a criminal sex act on a 5-year-old.
That is some sick, twisted stuff.
Apartment, which cops searched last night. When Vila and the 5-year-old were found in Jackson Heights yesterday afternoon after 3 hours of an intense search for them through the neighborhood, police now believe they were returning from Manhattan. Her mother had allowed Vila to take the little girl from a supermarket that morning to a park nearby since she wanted to go.
So what mother? A friend of the family. Known him for a year. We all know how crazy our kids can get when we're at the grocery store, right? I can tell you, temper tantrums, when you don't give them what you want, they throw themselves down in the middle of the floor. They want to kick and scream. I've been there. I've done that. So somebody that's actually going to say, hey, why don't I take your daughter over to across the street at the park? You're thinking, public place, this is a friend you trust, you know him, your daughter loves being around him, why not? And then, nothing. You expect your daughter to be back, your daughter isn't coming back, you go over to the playground, the park that they're supposed to be at, your daughter is gone, you're freaking out, at first you're trying to convince yourself nothing's wrong, they must have just went for ice cream. They must have just went, let's start calling. You don't know what you are going through until you're going through it. And it's just this panic that comes over. I remember one time I was at not the grocery store. I was at Walmart or another clothing store. And one of the kids got inside the ring of the clothes, the round ones where you kind of get into the middle of them. And so anyways, I didn't know she did that. I'm searching, I'm looking for clothes. I turn around. I got 2 grandkids there. The third one's gone. I'm freaking out. I'm like, literally freaking out for that 30 seconds, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's a long time. Those seconds matter when you have kids. And, then the thing flies open, Nana, I'm right here, and it's like, don't you ever. And, they're just having fun, and you kind of just blow their fun because you got to be a negative Nancy because it just scared the crap out of you. woman's, nerves and everything went on a lot longer than 30 seconds. 3 hours. 3 hours. And then to find out that this girl was just brutalized by this trusted family friend. Again, just I wasn't going to show this, and I thought, you know what, I can't do this on a video because there's, it can't be the topic of conversation, but it can be discussed fleeting in nature, and therefore it doesn't trigger on long lives like this one. So I thought this was a great way to get this information out to you, especially about this case. Also, I wanted to show you this. I put together a, actually I don't think I uploaded the video yet on this, and why it wasn't part of my morning opening. I think what I am going to do is in the mornings I am going to provide you guys all the little videos of information kind of kicking in when we have them. Not every day am I going to have, 3 videos of good information that I can stream together and put it in as the intro, so we don't have to, talk about it, or it sets it up for the conversation later. This is Nancy Grace. This is about a person from South Carolina. I believe I did a video on it potentially. I can't remember if I dropped it or not, so I apologize to you. My brain's a little mushy. But there's a person from South Carolina that truly believes that Rex Heuermann is the man, because he was the last man with his mother. She went to his graduation. She tried to convince the girl that he was going to marry her mother, and that he had several houses and a boat. And she went to the nail salon in a Chevy Avalanche, a green Chevy Avalanche. So she believes she was actually in the vehicle that had been looked for and was ultimately uncovered at the South Carolina residence. But apparently this is the man that she truly believes. And so this is a podcast on Nancy Grace that I just fast forwarded to a part where they're learning of it. So I wanted you guys to hear this, and we'll open this up for conversation here in just a little bit. I've got a few other things that I'm going to talk about, and then we'll go ahead and open it up. And if you guys have any new information on any cases that we're covering, if you have any new cases to cover, this will be a great opportunity for you to call in and let me know about that case or the question you may have with the current cases we've been covering.
First question: how is Julie's daughter taking the revelation that her mother's disappearance could be connected to Rex Heuermann?
I think she's having a combination of feelings. At first, she was shocked. She was sick. And then she was dealing with guilt and shame. And I think all 3 of her children are just like, wow.
And for those that are just tuning in, what you're hearing about is a potential victim out of South Carolina. Again, the lady remembers Rex, and this was recent. This wasn't as far back as 2009. This is in 2017. This is a victim from 2017 in South Carolina. And the victim's daughter saw the man that she was with and believes that man to be Rex Heuermann.
It's a lot, and it's real, like it's real. This guy's getting all these cool little nicknames. He's getting all this, publicity on TV. And when Julie went missing, she got nothing. Nothing. Nobody even knew her name.
And that's what I didn't want to happen to Layla Santanello. That is exactly what I didn't want to happen to Layla Santanello. I want justice for her. I want justice for her.
6 years later, people are just now learning her name.
There's also the issue of no finality. I mean, Julie Ann Bean was last seen in the Red Bay Road.
Julie Ann Bean. I'm just pausing this for just a second because there is a question in here. Ashley, is there another missing girl? I'm assuming that you're not speaking of Layla Santanello. So I'm assuming that there might be another missing girl in Kingsport, Tennessee. If that's correct, would you send me the details of that information at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you have an article or some resource that I can review or confer with, that would be great. Oh, what is this? Yes, there is. Okay. So I'll let you guys, but bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And that's for anybody across the board. If you have a new case, again, that's how I found out about Layla Santanello was, somebody saying, living in the area and knowing that we put boots on the ground. And sometimes that is what is called for a case. We don't need to do it. We just need to search. We need bodies out there searching stuff. The problem right now that we're facing in the elements, I mean, it's Tennessee, so you already have, some rough terrain to deal with, but right now they have an outbreak in ticks. So whenever you see me tell Olivia, you got to check, like we have to check our hair, we have to check, underarms, we got to check in the crevices, make sure nothing's creeping and crawling. They're so small that, and they can wreak havoc on the body. So we were constantly, every time we got into bushes and trees and stuff like that, we were constantly having to check our bodies for these ticks. It did slow us down quite a bit, but it was a necessary measure that we had to take to protect ourselves. And so, we're going to be, I'm trying to see where this case, where Layla Santanello's case actually kind of goes. We're still working behind the scenes. I'm reaching out to organizations, nonprofits, and government entities to help, also initiate and raise funds for the missing person or reward funds from law enforcement. I'm waiting for some calls back. It's not like you get an answer today or tomorrow. It's not one of those things. It's one of those things you got to leave a message. Then you got to wait for somebody to call you back. Then you got to tell them your situation, and they got to tell you whether they can do it. And if they can't do it, do they know somebody who can? So it really is a drawn out process. It's like I want answers, and I want answers now. That's my mentality, and why I'm so blunt and just to the point and stuff like that. Because when you're doing this stuff, you got no time and you got no patience for stuff. And I'm just a very direct person. So I'm just trying to get this stuff done and get it done now. And I'm realizing I'm at the mercy of government agencies and bureaucracy. So it is challenging at times, but that's what we need. So even here, this is a case that nobody knew about until 6 years later. I didn't want that to be the situation with Layla Santanello, why we jumped into action. And we most likely will go back there for more searches. And so when we do that, I definitely want, yes, I did do the update this morning in our reel. For those that are just coming back in, I do have a 4-minute reel that I will replay here in just a few minutes to recap some of the major updates that we can. I did want to say that I did misspeak in one of the commentaries, and it was related to BRYAN KOHBERGER. They were denied for the speedy trial, speedy trial motion, when she was trying to stay the speedy trial. That failed, so they ended up coming back in and waiving BRYAN KOHBERGER's right to a speedy trial, which is now going to dramatically slow down the entire case. But they have not argued the indictment just yet. The indictment's coming up in September. I didn't explain that very well, and quite frankly, when I was reading through this stuff, it wasn't that clear to me because I was out in the field when this stuff was going on, and I'm trying to get the information. And there was you could hear behind. I mean, there's just a lot of typing behind it. It was very distracting. Whoever was near a computer, near the microphone when this hearing was going on, it just made really horrible audio. So it was distracting, and I missed the fact that they didn't move forward with the indictment, the challenging of the indictment, and that's going to be set forth. So I wanted to make sure everybody was clear on that we do understand that. It's just when the video was made, that information was unclear to me at the time. So Nancy Grace is my fourth cousin. Oh, that's awesome. You know what? I love Nancy Grace. I really, you'll see that the people that I like the most are similar to me in their commentary. So like Beth Chapman. I love Beth Chapman. Everybody, people said I look like Beth Chapman. I think it was the rack. I don't know. But that TMI. I know TMI. But Beth Chapman was, I loved her. Nancy Grace, another one that just kind of puts it all out there, really doesn't have a filter, just says what it is. All the BS, PC is out the window, and that's what I like. I like being authentic. I like speaking my mind, and I like stating it, with you get what I'm saying.
Road area in Sumter, South Carolina, in a truck with an unidentified man. That was in June of 2017.
So anyways, I'm going to put this out there. If you guys want to watch the rest of it, we don't really have time to go over it. The bottom line is that there is potentially another victim. And again, a witness that identifies, that recognizes Rex Heuermann. I'm sorry, but if Rex Heuermann looks familiar to you and you're missing someone in your family, you need to call law enforcement immediately. Because I'm telling you, if you are missing somebody and you see and Rex looks familiar, most likely the person, you probably witnessed him, and that's why he's being recognizable. And you know what? What could it hurt, right? If there's a possibility that he did this, what could it hurt calling it in? If they have to work a little harder to clear it, at least we know for a fact that it's not him and it's somebody else, and they can focus the attention. And who knows? If it's a case that has kind of gone cold, maybe this is a way to invigorate that case and get that case some attention. Maybe new leads, even if it's not associated with Rex Heuermann, the Long Island serial killer. Maybe maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it'll be enough to get some new leads kind of flowing in for that. I truly hope that is the case. But I just dropped the link so you guys can get that. And many of you know that I've already discussed this in our intro. So I'm going to go ahead and play the intro right now. It's about 4 minutes long. For those that are just tuning in, the updates is just a little bit of updates that we are going to go through. And then we're going to talk about a new case and what is going to be upcoming in that case as well. So here you go. Hey guys, this is a sad story out of Los Angeles, California. This right here is Andrea Vasquez. Andrea Vasquez is a beautiful 19-year-old girl that was abducted in broad daylight. This is a wild and bizarre story of how she was ambushed at a park, guns blazing, shooting up the vehicle that they were at, and then kidnapping her and taking her to another. You know what? I just realized Alicia Watts was not a party of that. That was the one I just realized that I forgot to clip it, because I had, there was 4 videos that I had. I had this one, I had Alicia Watts, and I just realized that when I went to play it, wait, Alicia Watts is not a party to that, and I don't know how I missed her, but let me go ahead, and I know I've got it here. I think I do. Where is my Alicia Watts? Alicia Watts. Hold on a second, guys. I did one on Alicia Watts. If all else fails, I'll just take you guys over to my TikTok page. There it is. I did miss it. Give me just a second. I'll send it over here. All right, let me put this up over here, and then I'll just change my and let me know if you guys can't hear this. I don't know. You guys should be able to hear this on this one, but I can't guarantee it. So let me put this on a full screen. Here's the update on Alicia Watts. Hey guys, I don't know if you heard this. This is breaking news about Alicia Watts.
Breaking news from CBS 17 News.
We began with breaking news tonight. After more than a month, friends and family are finally getting answers about what happened to Alicia Watts. Thanks for joining us. I'm Angela Taylor.
And I'm Ron Carter. Sadly, this is not the result that anyone wanted. During our news at 4, the Montgomery County Sheriff confirmed that a body found near the Richmond County line is that of the missing Moore County woman.
According to law enforcement, after weeks of searching, Montgomery County Sheriff said they found the remains of Alicia Watts. James Dunmore was arrested for her murder. If you guys remember, she went over to his house before she disappeared.
This afternoon, authorities, as you guys mentioned, told us they believe they found Alicia Watts' body in Montgomery County near the Richmond County line.
James Dunmore was arrested this morning by Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department on charges of murder.
So there you have it. That is the clip for Alicia Watts. And I'll put this back up now. Oops, wrong one. So we've been keeping up to date on things. I've been bouncing around. If you guys have not been over to my TikTok page, I've been doing a lot of smaller, short videos on TikTok. I've been keeping my lives here on YouTube. I find that at least I'm getting things out on both platforms to multiple people when it comes to this. And then we're just going to get back to what I was just discussing with this gentleman that is accused of murdering this 19-year-old girl. And again, this is Gabriel Esparza. Let me put him up here. There we go. Gabriel Esparza. And he is accused. So far, you know, when Olivia and I were first talking about this, because one of the family members of Andrea reached out to her about this case to see if we could run the case and explain what had happened in this case. It was bizarre when we heard it, and I'm like, are we sure that it's not because the boyfriend, you know, when the gunfire started happening, the boyfriend was running off, and I'm like, you know, I'm always skeptical. You know, I always want to clear the closest people around the victim as quickly as possible, because then you can kind of focus and everything like that. So I know, you know, law enforcement is doing that as well, but, you know, for the purposes of reporting and the newsworthiness of it, you know, we're just trying to cut through the stuff. So we're asking the family, you know, is there a possibility that this is the boyfriend, that the boyfriend lied about this? You know, how many witnesses were out there? This happened in broad daylight, folks. Like this case happened in broad daylight. And so Olivia, I'm driving, so Olivia is popping in and doing an immediate video saying, hey, you can hear the noise from the car. She's an audio person. It was driving her nuts, but we're like, we just need to get this out. So she's on TikTok getting the information out as quickly as she could possibly get it out on TikTok and in front of as many people. And then I want to say about an hour or an hour and a half later, we get a text that there was a 19-year-old girl found and that they believe it's her. And so we were like, okay, well, what could this be? You know, we kept thinking, you know, is this a love triangle? What would make this guy, you know, is this guy older, younger? And then we hear that they don't know who the guy is, that he's 20-something years old. And we're like, who in the world would do this? So according to the family, or the people at least that Olivia was talking to that appeared to be the family, didn't really know this guy. So I don't know what connection this man here had with Andrea Vasquez. So we're still at a loss here. And then I'm reading all these articles, and I have literally no earthly idea how this guy is connected to the girl that he ultimately killed. And then on top of that, he's the chief, he's Los Angeles chief's son. Like the fire department's son, the chief of the fire department. That's his son. So what would make this boy do this? And we don't know what happened to her. We know that her family was able to track her with her watch, and they tracked her over to some kind of, like, it starts with an M, some kind of a valley. I know it's in the article, but I can't remember, like Mojave, I can't remember. Whatever, valley. And when her family member got there, she reported that she did in fact see blood. There was blood there, but they didn't find her. Well, they ended up finding her when law enforcement went out there, and she was deceased. And we're all still wondering why. What happened? I don't know. Just a really bizarre case. And this is just kind of to bring attention to this particular case. I received from one of my mods just if anybody could help. This is a Holmes County family wants answer after man disappeared. This man disappeared, I believe, in 2022. He was 30 years old, and I don't know anything. I don't know anything about this case other than what I'm reading. So I just thought I would throw this out there to my audience. If you know anybody that might have some information, anything like that, if you guys can get this out, call law enforcement, do whatever you need to do. But this family is still struggling and needs help for their loved one.
Alex Easterling's family is counting down the days until the father and son can be brought home safely. The 30-year-old, who lives in Holmes County, missing since April 20th, last seen when he was dropped off at a friend's house on Stockyard Road in Pickens.
We don't want to let go until our family has closure, and we're just asking for help to find him, any information.
Holmes County Sheriff Willie March says authorities have searched the property of the area he was last known to be, but have not searched Alex's home.
Authorities are continuing to comb through evidence such as Alex's phone records and surveillance video.
Tracy Hernandez says her nephew was battling a drug addiction, but always made sure to check in.
Is it like Alex to not call?
Not at all. Alex talked to his mother every day, even when he was on the farm serving out for a bench warrant that he didn't show for. Addiction takes many forms.
His family concerned that law enforcement may have seemingly turned a blind eye on the missing persons case that's heading into its fourth week.
The person that last saw him, and we have phone records, that's the last people that have talked to Alex until there was radio silence on his phone, haven't been questioned. We're very confused by that.
Sheriff March says they're diligently working to get the friend in for questioning related to Alex's disappearance.
If someone is missing and that you would come in and would give us a statement, what you think may have happened to him, and act for a lawyer, that to me that was kind of abnormal.
The statewide search involving canine volunteers, along with local authorities, Lexington.
Law enforcement is trained to identify when people come in to give information, but are really, fishing around for information about the case and then lawyering up. That's pretty bizarre behavior, and that's what people don't realize when we're dealing with people. And we're not just listening to the words that are coming out of their mouth. We're also listening and watching their behaviorism as they're speaking. Are they nervous? Are they struggling for the right words? Are they trying to play the tape in their head before they answer? Making sure that they got all their I's dotted and their T's crossed. There's a lot more that goes into interviewing somebody, especially and primarily if you think that they might be guilty of something. So they're going to be, these are red flags to law enforcement. These are red flags to almost anybody when dealing with somebody that may have information and how they're presenting that information when they're being asked, and how they're being asked, and how their behaviorism is helping. But again, this is not a case that I covered. It's not a case that I'm familiar with. All I'm doing is advocating for this case. If anybody has any information, if you live in Mississippi, if these, when it comes to substance abuse, people have a habit of moving around. So just because something is going on in one town doesn't mean when this person moves to the other town that they know that that person's referring to something that happened in the town over. So if you have any weird encounters, just call law enforcement. If anybody's talked to you about, somebody losing their life or disappearing or anything like that, call law enforcement. If you ever become a privy to any type of information like that, whether you also suffer from addiction or substance abuse problems, tell somebody that so that stuff can be relayed to law enforcement. If you ever feel that you just can't go to law enforcement and you need it, call it in as anonymous. And if all else fails, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I will refer your information over to law enforcement if you so choose.
Police Department, Holmes County PD, and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. For Alex's 5-year-old daughter,
she knows that people are with us, and everyone loved her father. He was a very lovable person.
Not a stone I can think of that we ain't turning over to try to find it.
As Alex's family is holding on to hope for his safe return, there is a $10,000 reward offered by the family for information leading to finding Alex and the arrest of anyone involved. Reporting in Holmes County, Tau 12 News.
So, Holmes County, Mississippi, if you have any information that can lead to the whereabouts of this person or, who may have caused this person harm, if that's the case, there's a $10,000 reward for you. And I don't know anybody in this environment and economy that can't use 10 grand in their pocket. So, reach out. Reach out. There's money on the table if you have any information. There's money on the table. There is a reward. Again, $10,000 for any information leading to the whereabouts of this man or anybody that may have hurt this man. This is from 2022, and he has not received justice yet. In other news, we are covering stuff from Idaho as well, and lo and behold, something came up. There was an officer-involved shooting in Idaho, primarily in Blaine County. And this happened at 6:03 in the morning. They were reporting out to a property for a possible homicide. Upon their arrival, the Bellevue Department marshals became engaged in an officer-involved shooting with a suspect and confirmed the presence of a deceased individual on the property, the victim of a homicide. The injured suspect was flown to the St. I can't even pronounce that. Alphonsus Hospital. I can't pronounce it. I could probably if I tried hard. But in Boise, there was no further details on the homicide or officer-involved shooting and are being released at this time. Blaine County Sheriff's Office and the Idaho State Police are conducting a joint investigation related to the homicide. And the Critical Incident Task Force, led by Jerome County Sheriff's Office, this is where the actual shooting took place, was in Jerome County. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was on their side of the line, is investigating the officer-involved shooting. So yes, it's on their side of the line with the involved shooting. No officers were injured in this incident. So God bless those officers that went in there, put their own life on the line to protect the rest of the society, primarily the rest of society in Idaho. But we have to acknowledge that when these officers go and take some bad guys off the streets, they also are taking those off the streets from coming into our community when they decide to flee their community. So God bless the law enforcement officers that, again, put their lives in danger each and every day. And this is just more about the shooting. That was pretty much it. We've got the nuts and bolts of it. And then there was a new case that came up in our search yesterday, and it was of a lady by the name of Tiara Villarenti. She's out of Pensacola, Florida. And of course, we immediately jumped into action. There is a GoFundMe page for her, raising money for funeral and memorial expenses. This was a really sad case. So this woman here is the mother and was the mother of two twin boys, and she was killed, murdered senselessly. And so nobody has been arrested in connection with her murder. So we started getting into work and started working and running down leads on this particular case. There's a lot of stuff on here. She was just a fun, loving girl that just really enjoyed life to its fullest. She didn't deserve this to happen to her. There's nothing in this world that could possibly convince me that anybody, oh, hey, Crime Stories, it's nice to see you, that she deserves any of this. And she was out, and she was gunned down. So we went on the trail to find this woman, find some answers for this woman in light of nobody being arrested. And we did come because I didn't have contact with this family, and this was all information that we found legitly. I am going to go through some of this stuff. We went into court records. We went into social media records for her, trying to find out any possible leads that could be attributed to her, and we come across this divorce proceedings. And this was clue number 1. This court proceeding for divorce was petitioned by her husband to her in June 2023. So they were married I think it's this one here. They were married in 2022, I believe. No, this is something completely dope. This is financial stuff. Maybe it was this one. 2017. So in 2017, they got married. In 2023, they are in the process of getting a divorce. Now, with the background of these, I didn't find a whole lot that was a little concerning to me, to be honest with you. I did check both of their backgrounds. Nothing of concern to report. Let me just check this one more time. We do have some show details. It looks like maybe some traffic. Just traffic stuff for Tiara, however you pronounce her name. And I didn't see really a whole lot that made me too concerned on the husband. However, once I realized that the husband was in fact trying to divorce her, it all kind of made sense and what they are doing. So they're building a case right now, it appears, against the ex-husband, or the soon-to-be ex-husband of Tiara. It seems to be that he is the one most likely that hurt her, based on what I'm seeing now. So I sent him, he's shut down his social media, but he did have an opportunity for me to leave a message. You really can't be his friend. You can't comment on any of the posts with his twin sons. And I just simply said, the word on the streets is you killed your wife. Would you like to comment? Would you like to, comment? And of course it hasn't been seen and it hasn't been responded to. But if he chooses to make a comment, and he'd like to comment on this information, or profess his innocence, or identify maybe somebody that he thinks might be responsible, I'm always here for you, Alexander, and I'm happy to help any way I can to get your story out there. I'm not saying one thing or another related to this. I really, truly don't know. All I can simply say is that this isn't looking good for you, and I hope you're not on the run. There's a couple things that are going on in the BRYAN KOHBERGER case. Nothing that really is screaming new information. So I've read over all the documents that are out, and I'm interested into, the memorandum in support of the dismissal of the indictment. However, the judge has ordered that to be turned in under seal. So we're not going to really be doing anything. We're not going to be able to see that in any way. And I'm hoping that we can, get an idea. I hope that's not going to be sealed indefinitely until the trial. But who knows? They waived their right to a speedy trial. This is going to take years, guys. We're not going to have justice anytime soon for these 4 victims, and that's just truly a travesty. I wish BRYAN KOHBERGER wouldn't do this to the family after he's taken so much from them, but the man doesn't care about anything. He just doesn't care about anything. He could end it now and take life in prison without the possibility of parole. He could stop this nonsense now. He's not going anywhere. He's not getting out on a bond. None of this is happening for him. He's just dragging it out even longer and making more people suffer from his BS. And it truly is just sad. So I found this scheduling order very interesting. So I just wanted to read it to everybody here, so you guys got an idea what's going on. So based on the August 18th, the court is ordered the following scheduling. So they did the August 23rd, 2:15 p.m., and that was the status conference in which they waived the right to a speedy trial. A hearing to dismiss the indictment will take place on September 1st at 1 p.m. Any additional motions regarding dismissal of the indictment are due by August 23rd. So That's why later that day we saw that objection go in from the state because it was due that day. We have August 30th. The state's response briefing is due by August 30th. The jury trial is set for October 2nd. We know that that is going away now. The jury selection will begin on September 25th. We know that's going away now. The pretrial conference scheduled on September 29th is now going away. Discovery to be completed on September 1st, 2023. I'm not sure how that's going to be handled because according to the state states that they've turned over everything. He even said, I can't give them something I don't have. Just because they think it exists doesn't mean it does. So they stood their ground, they put their foot down and said, look, we don't have any more. We've given them everything we have. We're outstanding on one report from the FBI, and it'll be coming in any day now. It may very well already be on their desk right now as I'm saying this. We don't know. We haven't been informed. The public hasn't been informed, and we may not be informed of that until the next hearing when they go before the judge again. I've also heard that the defense is now trying to work. Now, I didn't see anything for myself personally, but I heard that they're moving to try to boot the cameras out of the courtroom. And it very well may be because I think that, well, I don't think the judge is on social media. I have to be honest with you. Maybe he is, right? Maybe he's watching everybody's commentary, but I truly don't believe that that's the case, I really don't. And I just find it a little bizarre because, does she feel like because we're identifying the strategy that she's using, she feels like it's an issue with her defense? I mean, I just don't know. I just hope he does not, entertain us being kicked out of the courtroom. I think everybody has been proper in the courtroom. I don't think that the cameras have done exactly what the judge has said. They've been, from my understanding, have been following the order perfectly. They haven't been disruptive. They've been, they have the still photos. They can't even have the click, click, click sound. But the only thing that was, and I think the reason why we heard the lady typing is because she was so close to the microphone. I think that is why we heard her typing. I don't think she was typing like that or being distracting, or it wasn't distracting to the others. Again, I don't know, but it wouldn't have been the photographer. It would have been the person that's tweeting as opposed to the person that's videotaping, making those noises. So I don't know what's going on with it. All I can simply say is that I heard it, that it might be possible that they are truly, in fact, trying to boot the cameras out of the courtroom, and it'll be something that is being done by the defense, not the state. And here, sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have this up, so I was trying to find it for you. So here is where I'm at, and I'm on page 2, which is right here. So we know that I'm unsure about how the discovery will work, but it sounds like they turned everything over. And then it says the defendant, this is on 7, this is right here. Let me see if I can blow this up just a little bit for you guys to see it. There we go. So this one right here, it says the defendant intends to rely, if defendant intends to rely on the defense of alibi, a notice of alibi with the specific place or places defendant was at the time of alleged offense and the names and addresses of the witnesses defendant intends to rely on to establish such alibi are due September 8th, 2023. So he's ordered them to turn over the alibi. And this is in the scheduling order, but it's based upon the trial going forward on October 2nd. So I'm unsure how they're planning on handling that as well. The defendant intends to waive his right to a speedy trial and not proceed with trial as scheduled. He must do so by September 8th. We know he did that on August 23rd. All pretrial motions with supporting briefs, including motions in limine. Motions in limine are, it's almost like a motion for protection. It's they can't use it, even though it's evidence. They can't use it. It's too prejudicial to bring into the court. Motion for limine is used. Motions to suppress. So you're obviously they're going to be suppressing some evidence that may have, their probative value. The prejudice may outweigh the probative value. So you've got those types of stuff that are associated with the 404B and 403 challenges. So we've got all those. Proposed jury questionnaires and proposed jury instructions are due by September 15th. I'm pretty sure that those are going to be waived. Those will be produced at, closer to the time of trial. We know trial is going to be extended. The defense has already waived his right to a speedy trial. He now cannot say that, they did not prosecute him within his speedy trial rights. He has waived that appeal. So that is good. The counsel shall provide a copy of each exhibit and exhibit list to opposing counsel and the court. We know all about that. Again, that's preparation for a trial, which now has been halted. So that is the most up-to-date information on your BRYAN KOHBERGER case, your LISK case, and some other additional cases, including Alicia Watts, Andrea Vasquez, and Rachel Morin, with our work that we did on Layla Santanello. I will be getting you guys, let me just see if, I will be getting you guys probably a new GoFundMe. Again, you guys can only imagine Miss Santanello is just a wreck right now. Hey girl, you posted the wrong one. Oh boy. Okay, so let me just tell her to give me the right. And that's the one she sent me because I pulled it right from her thing. So can you send me the right GoFundMe and I'll post it now while I'm on my live. I'll see if we can get the new one posted. I'm really sorry, guys. Let me just go back up and make sure I just didn't grab the wrong one, because that's the whole. No, this is the one that I was sent. Okay, that was the one I was sent. So I will find out, but in a different sense, if you guys would like to, if you guys would like to help while we get this organized, and you just want to get some, do your part here, I'll just put her Cash App down here for those that would. Let me make sure that's right. I don't want to screw anything up, and I don't have it. So. Okay. This is the Cash App for her. If for those that want to, again, I'm just trying to do my part and help this family. And it seems like no matter what I do, they just, these people, these animals, they're just nasty. They're just nasty to me. They're nasty to the family. How can you respect somebody that would attack an innocent family because they don't like a creator that's helping them? Like, you guys had an opportunity to help this family. It's not like I just, this happened and I went out there. I mean, I sat here for 2 weeks and nobody did anything. Nobody did anything. Nobody even gave them flyers. I had to spend $150 to get flyers out to them because nobody would help. I've never had to do that before. I usually have enough time to get stuff printed out here and put them in the mail. Much cheaper. Much cheaper. That's why I have all this stuff at the office, so I can do that. But she needed them, and she needed them now, and I did that. And I really hope that people realize what they're doing to this woman is horrible. Is absolutely horrible, and she doesn't deserve it. She just wants help to find her baby girl. Whatever she can do, PI, shirts, anything to get her message out there about her baby girl. She wants to find her daughter. Let's be honest, it's been 2 months. I mean, her chances of, you have no idea what she's going through. None. And for these people to be attacking, you guys could just help, right? Guys could just put your pettiness aside and just help this lady. That's what you could do. You're making a conscious effort not to. That's a choice, a conscious choice. Each and one of you that want to hate are making. Why? If you're here to help families, here's a family that needs your help. not just one, not just two, all of us. This girl is out there. She needs to be found. Her 2-year-old daughter is missing her. Nobody's freaking helping. And everybody's complaining and complaining and complaining, so much so they're driving the family crazy. And if you want to support that, you can support that. But don't ever come here and say I'm the problem again. Period. Because our ears have now been turned off. There has been a lot of people that absolutely despise me, that sees what I'm going through and saw what happened, and absolutely told me they will never support those channels again. Ever. Because they attacked the family. They attacked the family. They don't attack me anymore. They go after the families. They go after the mods. They go after ancillary people. You want to know why I don't have a job? Because if I had a job, they would have me fired. This is my job. And guess what? Now they're stuck with me because they've made me absolutely unemployable anyplace else. That's the power of YouTube. So you did it to yourself. Now you're stuck with me. Great job for the worst person on YouTube. I'm pretty sure whoever's attacking Layla's family is probably the most despicable person on YouTube. Just saying. Just saying. But we will continue to help this family. Layla's voice should be heard. She should be seen. And it doesn't matter where she came from or what she was doing. She didn't deserve what happened to her. She didn't deserve it. And now we need to find her. Now we have got to find her. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and open up the phones, and we'll just, today was a little raw. I'm actually deciding whether I should open the phones because I've just had it. I've had it with the lies. I've had it with the nonsense. You guys are seeing with your own eyes the work I do. You guys are getting real families coming up and saying the work that I've done for them. If you go to my Facebook page, like I even have several other families I helped said, we will never forget what you did for us, for my cousin over on this side, for this, for that. You know, these other channels don't get that. So not only are you seeing my work, not only are you getting positive reviews from the families that I truly do help, you don't believe anything. Nothing we could present to you as truth because you are so infected that I'm such a horrible person that you won't even see the forest for the trees for the forest. Like we can present to you after, and somebody's like, what other families? I would never put another family's name out there, right? I don't know if I will ever broadcast the help I'm doing for the family. You know? Actually, I will. I don't even care. I will do it because you know what? I'm not going to let these haters win. And we do great work while they do nothing. They absolutely do nothing. And when they can't call and arm wrestle these families into hating me because I'm the only one out there helping them, they go and attack these families. And if you want to support that, go ahead and support that. But don't you ever come over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel and say you give a damn about these families, because I can tell you right now, you didn't give a damn about Jennifer Santanello, the lady that's being attacked, and all she wants is information about her daughter. That's it. She doesn't care who she gets it from. She doesn't care who helps her. She doesn't care. Like literally right now, all you people out there complaining that live in Tennessee about my work, you could literally go out there and help her clear an area right now. You could literally be part of the help to help this family. You could do that. You can go and print some flyers off and put them in your own community. You could do that if you so chose. But don't you dare accuse anybody, and I don't care if it's me or any other creator, that actually puts money out there, puts boots on the ground, and actually search. Don't you dare attack them or the families, because at the end of the day, the families don't give a damn where the help comes from. I can promise you that. Just like if this was going on in your family, I doubt you give a crap about who's helping you. I bet you don't care what their ethnicity is. I bet you don't care what their religious background is. I bet you don't care whether they have criminal history or not. I bet you probably don't care when you are missing a loved one for 2 months and just want answers. I bet you don't care about any of that. Prove me wrong. God bless. And of course, my mouse goes out. So I was going to open up this, but I don't even feel like opening up the phone. So I'm just going to say, bid you guys adieu, tell you guys, please pass the information around. I'm sorry, I'm a little hot under the collar because of what these people that profess to their audience for 2 years that they care about these families, and then they do this to the family. And you guys get to see it with your own eyes, like everything behind the scenes just came forward on this. They've done this to almost every single case that has been brought before you, and you listen to them even tell you that they go behind the scenes and reach out to this family, and you finally get to see what they say. Do you think any family that is struggling with a person murdered in their life or missing should ever have to endure that kind of text message? Whether or not they like a person or not, like, who cares? They have a dead person in their family, and you're talking about petty YouTube BS, and you guys are too stupid to realize that none of these families care about that crap? But you don't care. I'm talking about more people than just this one, because you got to remember, the same group reached out to Ethan's family. Remember? My memory is mile long. Trust me. I look at this stuff every single day. Every day. So and that statement right there, JJ, I'm just going to simply say politely, I know a lot more than anybody in this chat room about what happened. Yeah. They've done this before to a lot of people, including JJ Rollins' family. We have a lot. You guys have no clue. While they've been sitting here attacking me and clubbing me over the head, you guys literally have no clue. They have deceived you. They have lied to you. So much so I had to take them to court. One of them, the one that's out there trying to destroy my business and elicit help to do so. Just to have my name somewhat vindicated. Nobody should ever have to go through what I went through here. Ever. And no family should ever have to go through this. Ever. So I'm not going to sit here and keep going back. Maybe I should just stop going live for a few days until I calm down, because I'm telling you, this bothers me. And how can these people support creators that did this to this family? And then criticize me? You've got to be joking. I don't ever want to hear anything from anybody. You have no room to talk, and you have no room to judge me. Goodbye. Leave with peace. This. All right. Have a great day.